So it's now 1 o'clock, and welcome everyone who are tuned in to our Zoom today. Today we're talking about live healthy, 3 keys to energy. Okay, and Chris.
Yeah, welcome. We're so excited to have all of you listening in today. And Jeff and I are definitely super excited to bring some great information and tips for you to actually live max, right? Live to the max, live healthy, live young, and live fit, right? And today, our topic is actually, we're going to bring to you how to live healthy, right? And 3 tips to energy. So, G, yeah.
All right. I'm sure this light bulb and this photo of somebody speaking
is very familiar to everyone, right? We are constantly battling fatigue, and I think the young people maybe battle it even more often than the older people because young people of course live life larger than us generally, right? But the thing about it is that how do we live young? 3 keys to energy. All right. And so the first key, and I'm going to ask Chris to share about that. Oh, sorry, just before the first key. And the thing that I have all this technology, and I know which is the slide coming on next. Okay. Who are Chris and Jeff? Well, we both work together, and we both have a business in health and fitness and in building teams. Chris, of course, is only a young spring chicken 34. I'm a much older goat at 61, but we have this passion for life and for living large. And so you can see how strong Chris is and how he has influenced me to keep going on for myself. So this is me, I think probably a week ago when I went back to rock climbing. Okay, and of course Chris has all this strength. All right, so Chris, talk about 3 keys to energy and living young.
Yeah. So our very first key is holistic engagement. So previously, when I used to think of how to gain more energy or get more energetic when I feel tired, generally I would start thinking from a physical aspect, right? And physically, it's just like, oh, do I need to sleep more, or oh, okay, is there anything I can eat to help me be more perky, right? But actually, so Jeff, is it all there is to it?
No, the key to holistic engagement is really in the balance of 3 aspects, right? Your mental, your emotional wellness, as well as the physical part. But it is a combination of activity and rest. You ever find that? I don't know, Chris, do you ever find that on your day off and you
decide to rest,
you actually a bit down. Like when the energy level goes down, the activity goes down, the mood goes down also.
Yeah.
You find
I do find that. Yeah. Occasionally.
Quite a bit, So I'm very intentional about going for a run every day, right? Chris was just talking about that. And even if I don't run, I will try to do some yoga, or I will do some strength training. I'll go for a nice walk. Just have to set aside that time. Yeah.
That's a great point, G, and how like our actually physical activity also influences our emotional state and vice versa. So that's a great point. Another point which actually I've learned over the years, and there's a tip that I want to give you, right? It's also to engage. If you're feeling tired, engage yourself mentally, right? What do I mean by that? So a lot of over the past year, we've actually been sitting at home, generally staying at home, the same 4 walls, same environment, same scenery all the time, right? So the tip that I want to give you is change your environment, and that's the same they can work at a cafe, or you work at a pub, or maybe even just change the room that you work in. And this is the same principle of why we feel so energetic and so lively, very excited when we go on a holiday, right? Because we have new experience and new environment. So so I think that's something that I've learned that has helped me. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
I
that.
love that.
I love that.
I must say for myself,
In just working in my home, just working from home, and I hardly go out. But I guess one of the things is that I'm trying to have a new interest and new things to do. So
so
for myself, maybe some
some
music.
music, things like that.
Besides
But besides,
holistic engagement, we actually have got another key. Okay, now I gotta tell you, I'm listing this key, but I not necessarily something that I am
promoting, okay.
artificial aids. Artificial aids. Again, I'm gonna ask Chris to talk more about this because Chris is a young man and Chris has had more exposure to young people. And of course Chris also has actually
Opportunity to study overseas. So
more
even
about that. So what are some of these artificial aids that some of us go to? I gotta admit, I am a caffeine. I love my coffee, And of course, we have this.
drink, which is a 5-minute energy drink, and you can buy this in Guardian Pharmacy, I think. And of course, the final thing that final photograph is some machine spitting out pills, right? There are some pills not really intended for energy, but some people start to use it for that, right? So Chris, any thoughts about this and how useful it may be, or
Yeah. So for me, generally, my experience is when people are like when I was studying in the US, a lot of people coffee was a given, right? But a lot of other people took some certain medications and drugs to actually increase their focus and energy. Um, and yeah, so that wasn't really good. So the thing about artificial aids is it may help in the short term, temporarily, but the danger of that is two things, right? Um, number one, it is a crash afterwards. So it doesn't really actually make you um, help you naturally, right? So that you have a crash afterwards. And the second thing is your increased tolerance. So the more coffee you drink, first is 1 cup, then maybe it's 3 cups. And for the people who are undergoing like taking certain drugs to actually keep their focus when they're studying or when they're working, actually their tolerance increases and they take more and more of their drug to keep their energy and focus up, and it's not good for their body as well. So
well, thanks, Chris. I think that's the key. I would say that this, although it may be a key to energy, it's not something that I would advise, and I would say probably avoid it, lah, huh? Or if you want to, for example, I do enjoy my coffee. Just drink it for the fun of it, drink it for the pleasure of it, but don't take it for the need of it. Don't take it because you need to have it. Otherwise, you cannot stay up, and or you cannot feel energy. Okay. But perhaps the most important source is this last one. All right. And the last key is source. So I want to ask you, please type on the chat group and tell me, what would the source be? Source of energy? Would it be eating more food? Okay, of course, of course, you cannot be eating more food, lah. But would you type in the chat group? What do you think would be this third key? I'm giving you a big clue here. It is source, energy at source. Okay, so energy bar. Thanks, Wilson. Getting enough sleep. I like that, May. But we discussed it that getting enough sleep was holistic engagement, right? So what is this source? Come on, more ideas. Come on, more ideas. All right, I love it. what is this source? Okay, we don't have that much time to wait, so please come up with your ideas now, all right? So we have energy bar, great supplements. I like that too. Well, that is going to be something important, but you know, we're going to talk about it in a short while. Chocolates, I love that. I love that. I love that. Actually, you know, that's a source. That's a pick me up. Maybe more psychologically and maybe more emotionally than it is for the body, right? I love chocolates. I like that. Thanks for all that. Yeah, I love chocolates too. Okay, but the source of for energy is this rather little, small little thing, which I'm sure doesn't look familiar to most of us because there is no label on this, right? But this is what we call a mitochondria. And the mitochondria is the energy source in every cell of our body. Whether it is your bones, okay, or your muscle, or your brain, or your liver, or your kidney, every cell that is alive must have several of these, okay, because they are energy centers. What they do is that they combine the glucose, which is turned into something we call it ATP, all right, just real quickie, okay, with oxygen, all the oxygen that you're breathing, it is delivered to all your cells. Why? Ultimately, it has to go to these energy centers. And when they're combined, poof, you get some energy for the cell to work. Of course, most of us, we think of energy like mood. We think of energy like, okay, not tired, can work, okay. But actually, energy is very, very important. Why? Because energy helps the cells to do the work that the cells need to do, right? We are very familiar with the muscle, but are we familiar with, and we are pretty familiar with the brain, right? When the energy level drops, guess what? We don't think so well. We don't think so straight. You know, those of you who have climbed high altitude, you know, at high altitude, sometimes you just don't think as quickly, right? So this happens with other organs like your liver, your kidney. Sometimes the kidney doesn't function so well because the kidney energy levels have dropped. So this is so important, okay? It's important for health, it's important for aging, and of course, it's important for feeling good and having the energy to live life. All right, so if you don't mind, just 2 minutes, I'm going to talk about it. Thank you, Wilson. You said, what about supplements, right? Well, supplements are not the source, but supplements can help this source. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, and the supplement I want to talk about is this thing we call R square. R square, we have R square day here is cordyceps, sinensis, ginseng, and pomegranate. Okay, now these three are really powerful. They help you address the source of energy. It's totally natural, of course, but when it is in this Pharmanex one, you can be assured that while it's natural, it is pharmaceutical grade. Okay, what does that mean? It means that there's a high quality in every pill that you get. All right, it promotes health, it promotes vitality, and it promotes youth because all the cells are able to work like they did when you were younger. All right, now when you have all this energy being driven, right, what happens is that you know, just like an engine, okay, you have a car, right? You have this car, and you have a Ferrari, wonderful engine, okay? It needs to have the fuel, it needs to have the oxygen, but then you have this engine that is moving well. And so the R squared day, it makes sure that the engine is working well. Nonetheless, when the engine is working well, guess what? It creates a lot of exhaust, right? And it creates a lot of byproducts, right? Like the engine oil gets worn after a while. So detoxing is very important, and that's where R square night comes in. Okay, you can see our ingredient list for R square night. But the most important thing that I want to tell you is that it actually improves detox of the cells. And so because of that, it improves your sleep quality, your mental, your emotional energy becomes better as well. All right. Of course, just like R squared day is scientific and it is it is pharmaceutical grade. Okay, so that's really, and you know, you don't have to just take my word for it or our word for it. You can watch this Discovery Channel video, right? Discovery Channel came to New Skin to ask them what they were developing. This, of course, was a video that came out in 2012 when the product was under development, and then the product was launched a bit later. All right, but this is what is so excellent about it. Now, because for interest of time, I'm not going to show you this video, but please go to the person that invited you here, and we'll be happy to show you this video of how it works. All right. Okay. Meanwhile, though, I want to tell you, what does R square do? R square actually helps to sustains your baseline metabolic rate or your baseline energy level. Okay, and it's not coffee. It's not making your heart work harder. It's not making your lungs work harder. It's just increases your baseline energy. It's a very safe, very healthy way of doing it. And of course, because of this, it also helps the body to neutralize and remove cellular waste, right? And then because the cells are working better, it fortifies and protects the cells, okay? Because the cells have more energy, they're working better, okay? And then it restores normal cellular function, okay? So who is it for? It's good for anybody who is 18 and above. Why do we say 18 and above? Because those who are younger than 18, there's so many energy systems. You can use this, but we don't advise that, okay, as such. All right, and you know, we do have research that tells you about how well it works. It's run in a laboratory with 2 groups of mice, and you find that the mice who went on this have a 63% increase in exercise time. So it is irrefutable. All right. Now I'm gonna and for people, okay, for people, though we did not do the treadmill test, 90% of consumers said they felt improvement in fatigue levels when they took R square. Chris, what was your experience? Sorry, Chris, you are on mute.
Thank you. Honestly, for me, I didn't expect to feel much of a difference because when I started taking R squared, I was 27 years, 20, about 27, 28 years old. But to my great surprise, actually, I did feel much more energetic when waking up in the morning. My focus was was much better, even late in the evening. And also, I found that my physical performance drastically improved, like for my sports and things like that. So my recovery was very fast, and I could output a lot of energy during my sport.
Marvelous. And of course, we have people who need it. Maybe sportsmen, you need it. I mean, if you're a serious athlete, you would need this. And there are ways to improve your performance, right? So, but Chris, maybe you talk about Veronica, who has improved her performance.
Yes, yeah. So Jeff has wonderfully shared with us, about the science behind it. Now let's see some real life testimonials. Okay, I've shared a bit of my story, but are there others or not? Right. So this is 48 years of Veronica when she was 48. This is a number of years back, and she was working in corporate, right? And like many corporate people working in corporate, friends, family, last time, Jeff and I also, right? We just feel very fatigued throughout the day. Just a general low energy, but you just gotta push through, right? Because there's work to be done. But after Veronica tried square, she said that she can go on high tea without feeling tired and has a lot of mental clarity and sharpness, right? And stamina to last through the day, right? So that's for Veronica. The next up, next up, we
Sorry.
yeah. And the next up we have our very own this guy. This next testimonial is absolutely amazing, right? It's quite an inspiration to me. Shocked me actually because in his 60s, he actually beat me in planking, and he now he's 64 and he goes on all sorts of adventures that are even more than me, you know. And I'd like to invite Jeff to share about his energy journey.
Thanks, Chris. Well, I'm not yet 64, but I will be getting there. Okay. This I put here is Jeffrey 60 because this was last year, you know, before the lockdown, right? And you know, I'm just enjoying life. I get to do all these crazy things, and I get to live life to the full, I think. And one of the main, and you know, I want to tell you that I was a typical 50-year-old, okay, 10 years ago. I had knee problems, I had some asthma, I had gastric, I struggled with joint pains, you know, and I still struggle a little bit now, but I just love that I can do all of this, okay? And so, you know, it's never too late to have energy and to have youth on your side, okay? And beyond that, you know, I shared that I had some ailments, and the ailments just recover when you have the energy. And the reason, of course, is that the the reason, of course, is that the cells have the energy to do the things that they need to do, right? So, Chris, oh, you're
Yeah,
unmuted.
hello.
Okay.
Yeah, just like what Jeff mentioned, when our body has additional energy, it also can heal better, right? And this is a testimonial by Kong Hui Min, who was an entrepreneur, just 30, but you can see the severe psoriasis that that he experienced, right? And really, it plagued him for many years, but on our R squared, you can see how it cleared up, and you can see the vast improvement. Yeah. Okay, next. You're right. And the next testimonial we have is this man and his wife, right? So the man actually um, it was from East Malaysia. They are from East Malaysia, and he actually suffered a stroke, right? He suffered a stroke, and he was in a comatose state. When he eventually recovered, his physical ability was still really impaired. He couldn't really talk properly, you know, and he had great difficulty moving around. Hence, he was pushed around in a wheelchair. But his wife, thankfully, heard about R squared, right? Started giving it to him, and in a short while, he started be able to speak clearly and more coherently, right? And eventually, he was able to recover and walk around, right? And because of his testimony, his entire town started on this supplement, right? And you can see
Wow,
how it just
amazing.
totally transformed his life.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah. The next person that we have is actually Jeff's own sister, right? So Sue, when we met her, she was actually around 52, 53, in early 50s. And she had suffered for years of osteoarthritis, you know. She had great pain getting up from the bed throughout the day, walking around. And if you can look at her carefully in the first photo, she was actually wearing double knee braces and actually also had to carry around a walking stick. Yeah. So she was not in good shape at all, but she not only went on an R squared, but also went on a weight management program to totally transform her body. You can see the drastic change. 3 months, right? She transformed into the picture over on the right. And not only that, the healing that we are talking about, right? The energy that leads to healing took place, and she actually recovered from her osteoarthritis and was certified by the doctor that she was clear. She ran a marathon, a 10 km race afterwards for the first time in her life as well. 5 km race for the first time in her life afterwards. Yeah, and this is her we can check her out in a video, right? We don't just show you
Yeah.
a photo, but yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Because I was really, well, being family, it's really quite a burden, right? Because it's tough when someone is not well. It takes a lot of the energy and the attention of everybody else, because life is like that. You cannot imagine how happy I am that she's looking like this now. And take a look at her. This was, I
Morning
think this was shot.
exercises.
I think we shot this in early 2019, early 2020. So about a year ago. She's just so amazing now. I love it. But there's more, and I want to share with you about this part. Okay, the thing about it is that it's not just about health. It can pay you. So that's how I got into this program. Okay, as you know, I met Chris. Oh, well, I met Chris on the mountains of Kilimanjaro. Okay, on the slopes of Kilimanjaro, and then when he shared with me this thing, I was just amazed. How does it work? Actually, he is looking for three people. Let's say he's looking for three people. I'm one of the three, right? All right. And then I'm looking for three people. And the other two people that Chris has found is also looking for three people. Well, if this keeps going on, it multiplies to quite a lot. And Chris would be paid 6 levels. Now, I would be paid 6 levels as well. But of course, my 6 levels will be 1 level lower, right? But mathematically, you can take a look at how it works. Now, there's something like 1,000 people in this network. And if each of us sells just $2,000 worth of product, okay, can make the person at that top of this network who can earn something like $100,000 a month. And the best part about this business is that it requires no capital, no overheads, no experience, and can be worked part-time. So this is something that is amazing for me. All right, Chris.
Yeah, so much. G. So there's more. So if you decide to improve your energy for the year, right? So you've got a whole list of New Year's resolutions to set out, goals to hit, and you need that. You feel that you want that boost, to keep your body in tip-top condition, to have the end to start the year with energy and finish it with energy, right? We've got an amazing promo on now, just before Chinese New Year, right? Where you get $200 worth of free gifts if you decide to take the R2 package. Yeah, for a price of 2,090, right? So yeah, that's the person who invited you here. More about it, and if you are considering it, do take advantage of the promotion before it's sold out. Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. And thank you, everybody. It's 1:28. So we have been good to our practice of keeping it within 30 minutes, right? So just as a recap, there are really 3 keys to energy. The first is, of course, holistic engagement, which is about an interplay of your emotional and mental wellness, as well as your physical activity. You gotta keep active, and also rest. Okay, so for those of you who are couch potatoes, please get more active. For those of you who are Energizer bunnies, make sure you do have rest as well to maintain that. Okay, and besides holistic engagement, you could go to artificial aids, right? Like caffeine, energy drinks, but we don't suggest that. You can enjoy caffeine, you can enjoy some coffee, you can enjoy tea, but if you are depending on it, maybe it's time to look elsewhere. Okay, and of course, finally, it is about getting to the source of energy, getting the energy centers of every cell firing better. When you have more mitochondria, and when the mitochondria are conditioned and working better, there will be more energy for the cell, and the cell does its thing better. Okay, so if it is your muscle cell, you will have more strength. If it is your brain cell, you will have more mental energy. If it is your liver or your kidney cell, it will be doing better work in your body. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, or you can put it into the chat group.